Okay, here we are, second video. This, which I'll title The Past or What I Can Remember. I'm a little more upbeat because now it's exciting. Now it's building momentum. Now it's kind of just arising within. I will have a journal entry series from the journal that I'll have on a separate, kind of like playlist thing. This is just everything that I can remember. So this is gonna have to do with memory. A lot of trauma, a lot of life experiences have caused me to forget, and I've chosen to forget certain things. But I believe that by speaking on my life, channels will open. As my heart opens, memories open. Maybe even past life regressions and things like that. It's always weird, the deja vus, the just oddities in life. So I do have notes because you have to grow up as a presenter, and formulating ideas helps me focus. There is dogs here. They're currently having their own little struggle about mating, and it's not really gonna work. You'll see them soon. I'll have to put Loki in the cage too. So, regardless, unedited, impromptu. Okay. So, birth date. I was born March 27th, 1993 at 11:27 in the morning. Houston, Texas. I believe it was Texas Children's Hospital, either downtown or somewhere in the other regions. I don't have a specific answer. Was born there to immigrant parents. They are Salvadorian, so I am a descendant of Salvadorian heritage. My mom was born in certain parts of, I don't have the specifics, I don't know, I'm not even gonna lie. But, okay, so during childhood, I grew up in Houston. I spent the first 13 years of my life in Houston. I was on the southeast side near Hobby Airport for the majority of it, off of Telephone and Belfort. So there's a very famous pupuseria right there that's pretty bomb. It's been a long time since I've been there, but it was bomb when I remember. And so I grew up in these apartments right off of Telephone, and the earliest memory that I have is me on a rainy day. My parents allowed me, my mom I think specifically, allowed me to go run out in the rain in my tidy whities. And that's the earliest memory that I have, the oldest. I just remember running around in the little plaza area, open area, whatever, and just being with the rain. And it was such a beautiful, the fact that I still remember it means that it must be very important to me. It is very important to me. I remember it kind of with a blue hue, so maybe that's why. Blue, got this from my mom, by the way. Blue, a lot of, my favorite color was blue for a good while. And that's the earliest I have. So I didn't grow up. Right now I have a lot of brothers and one sister. So I have one blood brother. I have an older half, and I had another older half, but he passed away. And then I have a stepbrother and a younger brother, younger sister. So it's actually a very strange pattern, symmetrical pattern. The olders, us, almost looks like a molecule. Kind of set up like this, right? We have the olders, and us, and then the youngers. So I thought that was pretty interesting about my life. Um, oh, these videos include a pop filter. That's about it as far as editing goes. I'm recording on an iPhone X because of the 4K quality. I think it's beautiful. And anyway, continuing forward. So I went to elementary. I'm not 100% sure where I went to kindergarten. No, pre-K. But kindergarten, I do remember, was at Mount Carmel Elementary, off of Belfort and near Reed Road. Also near Garden Villas, which is where I was transferred to once my brothers came. So for the first 5 years of my life, I was living by myself, no siblings. They were both in El Salvador. We are all the first three, I should say, are 5 years apart each. Some other symmetry, which is interesting. And the first one was born January, the second brother was born February, and I'm in March. So 1, 2, 3, just some very odd, very interesting and intriguing birth charts and stuff like that. So went to Garden Villas once they came back because money got tight. Right now there's more mouths to feed. It's easier to feed mouths in El Salvador with American money than it is to thrive over there. It takes a lot of work. So I went to Garden Villas Elementary there. I remember a lot of music. One of my best friends, Danny Williams, he was, I spent a lot of time with that guy. He was my brother. You know, he's my brother today. We did music. I played the drums, snare drum, nothing serious, but I wanted to be in the band. So played the snare drum. I remember I wanted to be like a scientist. All my science classes were very interesting. I wanted to do something math and science related. I wanted to create stuff. I really wanted to be like Rick. Because when we were young, my other family long friend, David, him and we ran into adult content at a very young age, and South Park at a very young age. So we were very vulgar, very like just, you know, like not thinking like kids, or the general kid. And so I also wanted to be a fireman. I've always wanted to do something where I'm helping people or helping society, something where I'm bringing benefit to people's lives. And yeah, so weirdly enough, between Mount Carmel and Garden Villas, I went to this thing called like Charter Academy. And during that time, this is why I know I'm a legend, because I met Lil Flip when he was a leprechaun. He was giving out his mixtapes. I don't know what year that was, but he came to our school, was giving out his Lucky Charms mixtape. You know, I don't really remember the name right now, but that's how I know music and stuff. It was the path to go. It was the way to be. And past Garden Villas, you know, I had a few girlfriends there. Girlfriends, elementary girlfriends. Got cheated on by one of my girlfriends at a young age. That was like 4th grade, 4th or 5th, one of the two. It was towards the end. So heartbreak was kind of like, you know, I was primarily raised by my mom. So I have a very feminine, that's why I think the left side grows more than the right side, because I have a very feminine sort of energy to me. Like, I haven't balanced out my masculine and feminine, so I would say I'm mostly feminine. You know, I have long hair. I'm more in touch with my emotions, I believe, than a lot of my brothers. I'm here now trying to express myself and be vulnerable. And so past elementary, we go into middle school. So middle school for 6th and 7th grade, I spent at Johnston Middle School, which is now Meyerland Middle School, which is crazy. But I totally understand why they changed the name. Went to Johnston. This is where guitar, I had always kind of meddled in guitar, but this is where guitar became like, this is what I want to do. I was still doing the drums and the snare and band. If anybody is from the same class as me, which is probably what, 2004 to 2006 and 7, I had my fingers stuck in the door of a quiet room or a silent practice room and cut off, like barely hanging, bones broken, super traumatic experience. Probably traumatizing for the people around me too. They weren't expecting that. We were playing hide and seek, and I forget the guy's name, but he ran. I got called around. My hand was in between the door frames. Bam. Fucking just, excuse my language, but just fingers gone. Blood everywhere. Then I was going back to my classes and stuff. It's just, I'm gonna put in some traumatic images. This is all impromptu. You know, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I was taking French. I was in band. I played football for like 1 year. I think it was 7th grade. I've always been into sports, but like certain things that like being pushed and I don't know why. I was just always more into music than playing the sports. Like I'll play sports recreationally, but when it came to winning championships for sports and stuff like that, I was just generally not interested. But then mom, my parents had divorced by the time I was 5, so my mom remarries. We moved to Maryland. Never heard of Maryland. In Texas, it's all about Texas. Texas government classes, Texas history classes. Never heard about Maryland. The closest association I got was Washington, D.C. So I'm like, I guess in the beginning I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. But then I realized all the friends and progress that I was gonna lose. Had an emotional breakdown. Tried to explain to my mom that I didn't want to go. And she wasn't having it, of course. She had custody. I gotta go with her. So spending 8th grade in middle school in Maryland, less Latino population, you know, a big culture shock. It was tough. It was different, and it was tough. So I would spend a lot of my times playing Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Everybody's friends by the time they're in 8th grade. They've already established their cliques. They've already established like who they don't mess with or what they do. So I had to kind of like weave my way in, and I'm the only Hispanic that was in my group of kids taking classes. So it was weird. It was different. It was challenging, but I ended up, you know, there was also really big cultural differences. Some of the language that I was using here, I couldn't use over there. Or I was just like looked upon, like, why are you saying that? You can't be saying that. I think I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so then got with my clique, got with my crew. And I always felt like I was sort of like a leader in the group, you know, even though I'm kind of an outsider, like I still feel like people trust me and I can lead them, you know. In high school, so now we're going to high school. Old Mill High School. 101 Patriot Lane in Millersville, Maryland. Dopest high school I've seen, I've experienced. It is 2 middle schools and a high school built into one. So into one huge building. So there's tons of students, tons of energy, tons of diversity. Like, it is so cool. every class has about 900. I think the freshman class is like 900. Sophomore, junior, senior is like 900 to 800. I think it gets smaller as the seniors come by. But graduation ceremony was 2-3 hours, super long. And my name, Bolanos B. I got called up near the beginning, so I gotta sit through everybody's name, and we're just talking in the crowd. Anyway, so during this time, I was very interested in mathematics and sciences, which, right, I want to be a scientist, so I'm like doing so great in all my math and science classes. History, I was cool with, but I'm not too big on the past. Like, I'm okay with forgetting certain things. I'm okay with not remembering, being in the moment. Even though my memories create me, I'm totally fine with, like, let's just start fresh every day. I wake up every day fresh. I cleanse myself. I cleanse my mind before I go to sleep. I wake up with a new mentality or a new mindset, a consistent one, at least one without all the bad stuff that happened. So while I was in Old Mill, my mom signs me up for the International Baccalaureate program, 4-year program, where hit or miss, you take your finals in your senior year. You have extended essays, internal assessments, external assessment, and if you don't pass, it's not like AP where like you took this class for a semester, you take your exam. If you don't pass, all right, cool, it's just one semester. This is 4 years. If you don't make enough points to get the IB diploma, you get nothing. So it's like ride or die, bro. Like, I was smart enough and fortunate enough to make 3 points more than necessary. I made 27 points in all my exams, got the diploma, finessed the IB diploma, finessed the BMW as a gift from my stepdad. He needed a new car anyway. Life is on the up and up. Prior to that, I was taking AP classes, AP Euro, AP Psychology. That's where later on I'm gonna want to be a psychologist or psychiatrist. And calculus, I really love calculus. I love a lot of maths. Calc 2 sucks, but life's life, and math is sort of our biggest language on understanding this world. But I think it was like junior year, sophomore or junior year, I tried out for soccer, and my friends I didn't show up to the next practice. I was super lazy again, just like not really. I was more into the video games, into the Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Halo. I was playing the Xbox. I started off PS2, PlayStation, but ended up with the Xbox. They're running towards the squirrels. They have no idea they can't reach these squirrels. Okay, this is gonna be the longest one, just so you know. And yeah, had a IB music performance where somewhere on YouTube, if you look it up, there is a Metatron live cover. My friends and I would try to show off Metatron by the Mars Volta live cover. Super dope, super fun. I was still kind of like, I was showing off, but at the same time, wasn't very performance heavy as far as like my movements and such, but I believe the aesthetic and all that is satisfactory. I participated in Diversity Day. I played, what's it called? Asilos Magdalena by the Mars Volta. I really love so some of my favorite bands, the Mars Volta, Coheed and Cambria, Mastodon. I grew up on Guns N' Roses and Metallica, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit. I didn't listen too much, but just a little detail there. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Sade, a little bit. And so, yeah, I was a very artistic, creative person. I was doing music, Spanish Honor Society, Music Honor Society, future business leaders of America. And by the time I was in high school, the guitar that I had learned in middle school and the practice and everything raised me up to like guitar 3 and 4 before. So then by the time the third round of taking guitar came, I was in independent study. I played classical guitar. So I haven't been keeping it up, which is kind of sad for me, but I believe that I'll make it up. I'm kind of having natural talent for it. Yeah, video games is just like a big part of my life throughout this entire, it's kind of like my coping mechanism. It's the way that I can escape this realm in a bit besides lucid dreaming. And I'm like extremely grateful for the creators of a lot of games. Grand Theft Auto, I played at a really young age when it first came out, so I was probably like 8 years old playing Grand Theft Auto. Vice City, San Andreas, you know, GTA 4, and yeah, that was the biggest things that I can remember right now without making this like a half an hour video. I'm pretty sure I'm at like 10-15 minutes, but yeah, I'm a very creative individual. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of visions about how I would like the world to be, how I would like to experience the world, how I, you know, my brush of paint on the canvas that we all are on. And so in the next video, we're gonna go, in the next few videos, I think, we're gonna go through this little journal so that I can go a little more in depth past high school. It's filled with entries. I'll probably do like one video, an entry. And yeah, I feel my heart kind of like activating in a way. I need some water. I feel my heart activating in a way. Yeah, man. Please feel free to ask questions in the comments. If you like, please subscribe. Please like the video. More content coming soon. More planes in the background. Eventually we'll, you know, I'll have some sort of structured, like, more focused room. But I really like this aesthetic right now, and I like sitting in this table in my office, beginning this journey and opening up. And so soon I'll have like ventures outside and things beyond the office, things beyond home. And I truly appreciate every single person watching and listening. Thank you for holding space. Thank you for just even clicking, somehow finding this. Thank you so much. I love you all. I love the world. You know, there's days where it may not seem like it, but truly underneath of it all, I have unconditional love for each and every person that I come in contact with and that I don't. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.